Good evening and Happy New Year. I'd like to call the Nash County Board of Education's January meeting to order.
So at this time, the next item on the agenda is the election of the board chair and vice chair. Board Policy 2200 states that the superintendent will conduct the election of the board chair. As a reminder, nominations do not require a second. If more than one person is nominated, the board will vote on nominees in order of nomination. The person who receives a majority vote of the board members present is elected chair. Are there any nominations for the office of board chair?
Franklin Lamb.
Franklin Lamb.
Dr. Ellis, I nominate LaShonda Washington.
LaShonda Washington. Are there any more nominations? So I will call in the order. Those in favor of Franklin Lamb, raise your hand. The Chris Bissett. Franklin Lamb. Bill Sharp. Ricky Jenkins. Dean Edwards. Those in favor of LaShonda Washington, raise your hand. Link Dunton. Washington. Bullock. Chavis. Ray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is Ms. Thomas Bullock online?
Oh, she has her hand raised.
She has her hand raised for Dr. Washington?
Dr. Washington?
That's correct.
Yes.
With 6 votes, Dr. Washington is board chair. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Ellis. At this time, nominations are in order for vice chair.
Franklin Lamb.
As a reminder, nominations do not require a second. Are there any nominations, please?
Franklin Lamb.
Link Dunton.
Are there any other nominations? Nominations are now closed. At this time, all those in favor for Franklin Lamb, please raise your hand.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I nominated Mr. Dunton, but he's not voting for himself. So I will cast my vote for Mr. Lamb.
All right. So I need to add Bullock and Chavis for Lamb, correct? All right, all those voting for Mr. Dunton? No, Ricky, you already. Ms. Thomas Bullock?
I guess under the circumstances, I'm sorry, I'll just was seeing what was happening, so I vote for Mr. Lamb.
Okay. All right, so that is, pretty much a unanimous decision. Mr. Franklin Lamb will be our vice chair. Congratulations.
Yeah. They would go up now.
All right, the next item on our agenda is collectively, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance together. Would everyone please stand and face the flag? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Dr. Chavis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We are now at item number 5 on the agenda, which is the approval of the meeting minutes from our last meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Dr. Chavis, seconded by Board Member Sharp. Is there any discussion on the meeting minutes, excuse me? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We have now reached the recognition portion of our board meeting.
You may go. Oh, you may go. Oh, you don't want to show it off. Put you right there front and center. So we have several recognitions this evening. Please come forward when your name is called and remain standing down for a photo. First, we are recognizing our Nash County Public Schools United Way coordinators. Anna Ellington, Shanita Harper, Sheila Green, Shonda Lockett, Melissa Mungo, Amy Harbison, Melissa Sasbo, Jenna Walston, Julie Carter, Tanya Thorne, Lynette Jones, Nicole Revis, William Strawthorne, Beverly Frazier, Bobby Joe Bone, Joanna Hale, Kara Spradley, Tanisha Copeland, Shannon Tolbert, Deborah Burgess, Aaron Parker, Stephanie Wilkins, Paris Newton, Krista Moss. I was about to say, you mean slide? Deborah Vance, Sandra Quincy, Tawana Evans, Stephanie Cooper, Mary Marshburn. I do row 2. It's a good thing. Wanda Jenkins, Markiva Silver, Amanda Melvin, Cindy Pendergrass, Tanisha Eatman, Marletha Muhammad, Melissa Nelms, Carolyn Pennington, Caroline Johnson, Sarita Lamb, Janice Barnes, Latricia Sumner, Leanne Evans, Lisa McDaniel, Andrea Creech, Rhonda Mitchell, Michelle Royster, and Cassandra Cobb. Woo. Congratulations. Thank you. We're gonna get this picture done. She's trying to hide her foot there. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Great job. In fact, now I'm gonna turn it over to Jenny Morebutter because I know she has some more recognitions with United Way. All right, Dr. Washington, I think Miss Morebutter's coming up here, and we got some more to do though.
We do? Okay. I'm following your lead.
I'm Jackie Lewis, Board Chair and Co-Chair, VP of Community Campaign for United Way Tar River Region. It is indeed a pleasure to be here along with Jenny Morebutter, Executive Director, to join you this evening. On behalf of the Board of Directors and the thousands of individuals we serve in Nash and Edgecombe counties, we want to thank the Nash County Public Schools for a tremendous 2023 United Way campaign. Nash County Public School System and your employees have had a profound impact on our community. Because of your support, we're able to provide support for thousands of local citizens each year, improving the quality of life for children, adults, and families. We are proud to announce that for this year's United Way campaign, in case you all didn't know, the Nash County Public School employees and the school board members raised $92,744. This amount is the largest contribution in the district's United Way given history. This contribution places the district among the top 3 local contributors for the entire United Way campaign, contributing approximately $1.2 million over 18 years. Now we would like to recognize and celebrate the outstanding support and award-winning schools and departments that have gone the extra mile in making a difference in our community through United Way. We ask that the award winners come forward as their school or department is called. Our first award category is the highest total contributions. The very first one is for elementary, which is Nashville Elementary, raising $4,531. Middle school is Red Oak Middle, raising $6,223. High school, this gives me so much pride to do this. Northern Nash High, $6,198. The department, Human Resources, $5,000 even. Our second award category goes to a school that attained the largest campaign contribution increase. That school is Red Oak Middle, increased by 245%. Our final award category goes to the schools departments that have exceeded their previous contribution by more than 3%. Baskerville Elementary increased by 215%. Anybody from Baskerville? Red Oak Elementary increased by 206%. Student Services, Teacher Resource, Technology, Transportation, and Warehouse Departments combined increased by 149%. Fairview Elementary increased by 125%. Hubbard Elementary increased by 109%. Nashville Elementary increased by 78%. The Finance Department increased by 78%. Winstead Avenue Elementary increased by 56%. Parker Middle increased by 54%. Academic Services and Accountability increased by 53%. Southern Nash Middle increased by 44%. Northern Nash High increased by 38%. Spring Hope Elementary increased by 38%. Planning and Engagement Department increased by 23%. Human Resources Department increased by 15%. Inglewood Elementary increased by 14%. The Maintenance Department increased by 7%. Athletics, wellness, and child nutrition increased by 5%. Bailey Elementary increased by 3%. Johnson Elementary increased by 3%. And to make sure I do this correctly, is this NEDA, N-E-D-A? Okay, increased by 3%. In closing, we thank everyone who makes Nash County Public Schools United Way campaign such a success, such a great success. Dr. Steve Ellis, Superintendent, Board of Education members, Heather Finch, Sarita Lamb, and Caroline Johnson, all school and department campaign coordinators, all school principals and department leaders, and all employees who donate to the United Way. Thank you for your time and support this evening. Good night.
Follow your lead.
So next we have Sherry Biggs. Ms. Sherry Biggs is currently one of the district's 4 payroll analysts. She has recently completed all the course requirements to be certified as a school business manager by the North Carolina Association of School Business Officials. This full year of training now affords her the opportunity to move towards a supervisory role in school finance. Congratulations, Ms. Biggs. Yes, Rita could. So next we would like to recognize the NASH Board of Education. January is Board of Education Appreciation Month. We would like to present this certificate of appreciation to our NASH Board of Education members. We express our sincere gratitude for your unwavering dedication to education. Your commitment to shaping our community's future is truly commendable. Thank you for all that you do. That's right.
That's the last one you got.
Participation. All right. So lastly, we would like to recognize Evelyn Bullock. Ms. Bullock has been a dedicated member of our Board of Education for 24 years. Ms. Bullock has served as our Board of Education Chair and even served as the President of the North Carolina School Boards Association. And the plaque says, with our deepest appreciation, we hereby honor Evelyn Bullock for the distinguished and unselfish service as a Board of Education member for Nash County Public Schools, 24 years.
Anybody who knows me knows that I am rarely at a loss of words. I am tonight. Be quiet. I am so surprised, but I am so thankful. I have worked really hard to do what I could to help the children of this district. That is my primary concern for the work that we do. And secondly, I work hard for our staff. And I thank you for all the hard work that you do on behalf of our children. They really do need us. And I think if we work together, we can continue on the trajectory that we are already on, and we will continue to do a good thing for all of the children of Nash County. Thank you so much for this honor. It is greatly unexpected, but my heart is so thankful. And my daughter, I'm surprised. I don't know if all of you know my daughter, Lisa Bullock, but the last time I talked to her, she was supposed to be at her school board meeting in Halifax County. But thank all of you, and thank you to my board for being so kind and so ready to work for our children. Have a good evening.
Good. Thanks again to everyone, and congratulations again to Board Member E. Bullock. We have now reached agenda item number 7, which is our public input. Each month, a part of at least one regularly scheduled board meeting will be set aside for citizens to address the board through public comment. A sign-up sheet will be available in the communications office for any individual or group to indicate their desire to address the board. Disruptions by any person or persons of a public meeting will be subject to action in accordance with General Statute 143-318.17. If anyone has further questions, please refer to Nash County Public Schools Policy 2310. Speakers will be called in the order in which they signed up. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. Yielding time to other speakers is not permitted. If a speaker has written materials they would like to share, they can hand them to me, and I will distribute them to the board members upon coming to the podium. If a speaker is not able to present all of their information within their 3 minutes, the speaker may provide the board with additional information in writing. Additional time is not allowed under the policy. The purpose of public comment is for the board to hear from members of the public, not to engage in back and forth discussions. Per our policy, board members will not respond to speakers during the public comment session, except if clarification is needed on points made by the presenter. The board greatly values public feedback and welcomes all comments regardless of viewpoint. However, please be reminded that children are often present at these meetings and that our public comment policy prohibits profanity, vulgarity, and personal abuse of any person. We ask that all comments be civil, respectful, and free of personal attacks. In addition, since individual school personnel matters are confidential under state law, we ask that concerns related to individual confidential personnel issues be addressed to the applicable school district officials or the superintendent or through relevant policies and grievance procedures. Finally, any speaker who disrupts our public comment period or otherwise exceeds the bounds of order and decorum will be given a warning. Continued violations may result in the speaker being ruled out of order, at which point we will move on to the next speaker. We do have 2 individuals signed up this evening for public comment. The first individual that may address the podium is Ms. Crystal Wimes Anderson. Ms. Crystal Wimes Anderson. Okay. Ms. Emily Haley.
Are you ready? Okay, yeah, okay. Good evening. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I would also like to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for listening to parents from Inglewood last year. It really brought tears to many of our eyes when we rode by and saw the playground going up over Christmas break. So I would like to begin with saying thank you. Tonight I come before you though as a parent with 2 children at Edwards Middle School. Listening to the committee meeting last week, I was caught a little off guard when it was discussed the movement of all the children at Edwards to Rocky Mount Middle maybe next year. I understand the school's reasoning that the 2 schools will need to merge. And I did listen and hear that y'all have some really valid reasons why it might be best to move the children who are at Edwards to Rocky Mount Middle. There are some things though that I would like to ask questions about or ask y'all to take into consideration as y'all make that decision. First, there are some things that are unique to Edwards Middle School that are not offered at other schools. For example, Edwards Middle School is the only middle school in the district with an orchestra program. It is something that allows children who would otherwise not be given the opportunity to play a musical instrument that opportunity. It's also the only middle school that has an Odyssey of the Mind team. Those are all things that, if this is the direction we're moving, I would like you to take into consideration. Second, both schools have a Math 1 class and a combined math class. Does that mean there will be 2 classes offered, or will some of our children be removed from that class moving forward? That's another thing that I would like you to take into consideration. Third, and maybe most importantly, are our teachers. What will occur? Will this be a true merger of the 2 schools? Will Rocky Mount Middle School teachers be given priority over Edwards teachers? My son, who is in 8th grade, has had some amazing teachers at Edwards. Just to name a few, Mr. Kelly, Miss Mangano, Miss Pate, Miss Billups, and Miss Sabo, who was recognized earlier tonight, are some of these teachers. We would like that taken into consideration. If this is the direction that the board is moving in, we ask you to move this transition process along as soon as possible, even if that means doing some planning with parents at the table and it not happen in September. I would rather us put the work in and have a smooth transition than for us to come in September and it be not a smooth transition. There are other things to consider. Is there a way to represent Edwards at this new Rocky Mount Middle? Could we maybe have our colors, maybe move all the banners that hang in Edwards Middle School for the 60 past years for athletics, move to the Rocky Mount Middle's gym? Please give us an opportunity to make this transition work for both groups of parents. We would like for our teachers and our families. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our public input. Business items.
So these are donations. Dear board members, please accept this request for the following donations. Red Oak Elementary School received the following donation. The De Leon Carter Foundation gave $2,500 grant to be used for an arts and snapology STEAM program for third and fourth graders. Parker Middle School received the following donation. The Futural Malden Community Foundation for Greater Rocky Mount gave a $1,000 grant to be used for athletic uniforms and equipment. It's presented to the board.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept these donations with great appreciation.
Second.
Motion made by Dr. Chavis, seconded by Board Member Sharp. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you. Next item is personnel, Mrs. Wallace.
Good evening, Chair Dr. Washington, Vice Chair Mr. Lamb, President, and virtual board members. The Personnel Action Report has been presented and discussed. On behalf of Dr. Ellis, your approval is requested at this time.
Is there a motion to accept the personnel recommendations
So
as
moved.
presented? Motion made by Board Member Sharp. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Board Member E. Bullock for the record. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you,
Thank
Mrs. Wallace. All right, committee report, for administrative services and operations, Mr. Sharp.
Madam Chair, I just want to report out, we had our meeting on January 4th, and Dr. Ellis's team presented an outstanding recommendations regarding the demerger process. So I'm going to ask if he would just share a little bit of that for informational purpose only, no actions required. Thank you.
We don't have the PowerPoint in here, but it was the talk of K5 would be Inglewood and Winston. Talked about Rocky Mountain Middle School would now take on the Edwards students. Edwards will now become the elementary school for those students that are on the Edgecombe schools but are Nash County students. That'll be about 400 some students. So that'll be our first discussions. TRC will now be at Williford Elementary. So we'll have some more information in the process, probably at the next meeting, with some parent meetings as well lined up to make sure that everyone understands what this facility plan is about with the demerger.
Dr. Ellis, let me just say thank you for what you guys did. And I think the importance as far as how you communicating that across the website and to the community has been outstanding, second to none. So we are without excuse if we don't understand or don't know, because your doors and your staff has been open. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sharp and Dr. Ellis. Student Support Services and Operations Committee, Mr. Edwards.
The Student Support Services and Operations Committee met also on January 4th, and we had for information only a transportation update by Michael Bond. So we did this.
Thank you. Academic Services and Accountability Committee, Mrs. Thomas Bullock.
Yes, so the Academic Services and Accountability Committee met, and we had two action items. The first was a summer learning opportunity with Ms. Griffin, and the second field trips with Mr. White. I would like to move to accept both as presented for approval by the full board.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Board Member Thomas Bullock, seconded by Board Member Gray. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carried. And Policy Committee, Ms. Evelyn Bullock.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our first item tonight would be policies with minor changes for final approval. Those policies are, we have sets in that category. Policy 4130, discretionary admission. Policy 4150, school assignment. Policy 4334/5035/7345, drones. Policy 6230, school meal and competitive foods standards. Policy 7232, discrimination and harassment in the workplace. And finally, policy 7820, personnel files. Madam Chair, I move that we approve these policies for a final approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Board Member Lamb. Is there any discussion on these policies? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
our next item on the agenda are policies with substantive changes for final approval. And we have policy 1310/4002, parental involvement. Policy 4040/7310, staff-student relations. Policy 4110, immunization and health requirements for school admission. Policy 4240/7312, child abuse and related threats to child safety. Policy 4342, student searches. And policy 3610, counseling program. I recommend that we give final approval for these policies. I move that we give final approval for these policies.
All right. Motion was made by Board Member E. Bullock for the record, seconded by Board Member Dunton. Is there any discussion on these policies? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carried.
Madam Chair, we have several policies for first read with substantive changes. They are policy number 4720, surveys of students. Policy 5210, distribution and display of non-school material. Policy 6220, operation of school nutrition services. Policy 6401/9100, ethics and the purchasing function. Policy 6430, purchasing requirements. Policy 7100, recruitment and selection of personnel and criminal history check. I move that we approve these policies for first read to lay on the table for 30 days.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Dr. Chavis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carried.
Madam Chair, the final item for the policy committee tonight is the nomination for a representative of this board to serve on the North Carolina Legislative Committee. And this nominee, the primary task of this committee would be to develop the draft and for the NCSBA legislative agenda for consideration and adoption by the delegate assembly. Critical that the nominee is able to attend 3 scheduled meetings, 2 of which are in person to be held at the NCSBA office in Raleigh, and 1 meeting will be virtual. There may also be specially called meetings depending upon legislative development. And Madam Chair, I ask that the floor be open for nominations for this appointment.
I will accept nominations at this time.
Madam Chair, I would like to nominate Bill Sharp.
Are there any additional nominations?
Madam Chair, I nominate Dr. Washington, our chair.
Are there any further nominations? All those in favor of designating Board Member Bill Sharp, please raise your hand. Okay, all those in favor of nominating myself, please raise your hand. We'll need a vote from Thomas Bullock. Oh, she has her hand up. All right, so the vote is 6-5 for myself, and I appreciate board members having the faith, encouraging me to represent us at a higher level. Thank you. Now we'll move on to item number 14. That is the, oh, sorry.
13.
Number 13,
You got
the
it.
superintendent's report, please.
So I just want to thank the Nash County Public School family. When the United Way comes and tells you you've had a great year and top 3 and all that, that's a wonderful thing. So thank the staff and everyone involved. I know Sarita Lamb over there and Caroline Johnson, Heather Louise Finch, you all did a great job of getting this together, so thank you. I can see the t-shirts. A great job. We get to go and we get to have our little award ceremony again. So good. The next one is, this month is School Boards Appreciation Month, and personally, I just want to thank all of you for your support in moving this district forward. It's not done alone, and with your support, I believe we've made some great strides this year, so thank you. I appreciate it. Happy Board of Education. Yeah, man. All right. It is a holiday on the 15th. We observe Martin Luther King holiday. That'll be the 15th. Did want to mention January 25th, the parent workshop will be at 6 to 7, and that'll be a virtual meeting. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Ellis. Now for the chair's report. Happy New Year, as I stated before. I'd like to thank the board for entrusting the leadership roles to Vice Chair Lamb and myself for the upcoming year. Please know that we don't take these roles lightly, and we look forward to a successful and productive year. Some important dates are Monday, January 29th, our Board of Education committee meetings, and our February work session on Monday, February 5th at 5 p.m., and our February board meeting on Monday, February 5th at 6:30 p.m. If there is no further business to come before this board on this evening, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Dr. Chavis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, have a wonderful evening.